Welcome everybody to Rime of the Frostmaiden. Last time you guys were here, you had defeated Zarduk Sunblight's dragon made out of Shardlin, but at great cost. The cities of Dugan, the towns of Dugan's Hole and Goodmead lay in rubble. The only thing remaining from Goodmead, the mead hall itself, and Dugan's Hole mostly laid to waste. The city of Easthaven half burned. Survivors from the destroyed towns are huddled around and are being transported to the city of Bryn Shander to maintain warmth. The economy of the 10 towns has been battered over the last almost year that you have been traveling around the 10 towns, dealing with and trying to help the towners survive the threats of the cold. The cold winter ever more oppressive and closing in, the realization had become stark that the 10 towners ne'er could survive much longer. Knowing from what you had learned that there is potentially a secret buried beneath the Reged Glacier, a city from an ancient empire that you have recently discovered is something by the name of Yithrin, of the city, a city of the Netherese Empire, buried beneath the snow and ice, that carries with it powerful magics, including potentially something that you just learned from a book called a Mythalar that holds great power that the Netherese used to levitate their cities, similar in structure and in shape, in a book that you found to to an item that you saw inside of the magic mirror in an elven tomb, in answer to the question of how to end the terrible winter. It also struck up memories of a smaller item created by the gnomish artificer Macradius, who had generated a way to control and end the grip of winter's fury held over the Icewind Dale, although nowhere near as powerful. Presuming that perhaps this entire winter was the result of ancient magics that have gone awry, or perhaps ancient magics would hold the power to end this terrible winter. You left from the city of Easthaven out into the wilderness, following along the Lacdinsmere until you reached an area where you were told by rumors around the 10 towns of a spire stuck into the ice and snow of some ancient civilization buried there. You have been told this by 10 towners in the city of, I think, Caer Konig or Caer Denival, after sort of listening to rumors about the red wizard that you had seen at the very beginning of the campaign that had been burned to death. Apparently, he had discovered this and had hired local 10 towners to help him excavate it, and then apparently murdered them to keep this secret. However, he was discovered and put to death by the Easthaveners. You traveled there, and on arrival, you did indeed, after some expert navigating on the part of Harkis, you were able to avoid the worst of winter's fury and arrive at the ancient spire. Noticing a tunnel carved by magic out of the ice down into the bottom, you discovered inscriptions on it that had described some proper name that you couldn't really decipher, and climbed your way down into chamber, finding it to be upside down, some sort of spire that you deduced was connected to a greater piece at one point, seemingly had become disconnected and lodged itself upside down in the snow and ice. You found yourself in several rooms. You claimed potions that were in a container attached to the ceiling in one room, and you found a library and at least read one of the books, something called The Magical Wonders of Netheril. And there you found, in the library level, a hole heading down into deeper, or what would have initially been higher levels of said spire. And that is where you guys are, and that is where I'll bring you to now. Allow me to set the mood with our audio soundscape. Now let me bring you there on Roll20. This is where we find you guys. You're inside of this upside-down library. Tall bookshelves are affixed to the outer wall, have spilled their contents onto the ceiling-turned floor, and a large table lies on its side, one leg broken. A 5-foot-wide tunnel in the floor leads to the east, leads downwards. As Leonard was looking down into the tunnel is where we ended it. There are other books and things scattered around this room. As Leonard leans over, several pebbles and rocks fall down into the hole. What do you guys do? Everyone is muted, just FYI.
Leonard is, has been, and will be ready to jump into that hole.
Leonard, you peer down in there. It's dark. You can't see quite how far it goes down. Jumping?
Or like a rock or something down there and see.
Maybe.
Or light.
Maybe I should use a rope.
Do we have like a light or anything?
Do we have a rope with a light on it?
I don't know, do you?
I got 50 feet of rope.
Can our wizard cast light on one of these rocks?
Yeah. Easily.
Well, I don't know if the wizard has it, but the cleric does, and I'll pick up one of the books, I guess, and cast light on it.
Okay. The book illuminates and glows. The entire room is lit. You see several other books spilled out amongst the floor in this room. And are you dropping it down the hole?
I mean, did we want to attach it to the rope?
Yeah, I think that was the plan.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're able to tie it onto the rope, and you have a light on a string. And lowering it down?
Yes.
Okay. This chamber drops down about 12 feet or so before the book hits the bottom in a dark room. Has a sort of a glassy ceiling-turned floor in this level. You can see around it that it is sort of like a marble-like room or something, but you can't really make out like what all is in the room from the light that is there.
I'll climb down.
All right, Leonard, as you climb down, this is what you see over here. Leonard, you see a room containing 2 metal cages, both of them badly damaged. There is a roughly dug tunnel above you, where your compatriots are 12 feet above, and there is another one in the floor about 15, 20 feet to your southwest that seems to head downwards. There are windows along the outer area that offer you a glimpse of the earth into which the structure is impaled, which is basically just ice. You see just ice and dirt that the thing is impaled itself into. There are upside-down doors to your southeast and to your northwest. Room is relative.
I'm gonna yell up the ladder or the rope. Doors and holes. Doors and holes. It's safe.
Famous last words.
Right.
Oh, it's totally safe. You're good. Ah!
I think I'll join him.
Okay. Cadillac, you lower
I'll
yourself
climb down as well.
down.
I can't let you go and me not.
Everyone lowering themselves down. Okay, we'll just move everybody down then. Yeah, you all find yourself in this room with the iron cages. And there is a hole heading higher in the spire or lower into the earth in this upside down structure that you're in. There are doors like 3 or 4 feet up clinging to the ceiling here and here.
Before we advance deeper or / higher, I think I'm going to give a quick listen at this door to see if I hear anything, and if I don't, open it up.
Roll perception for me.
Okay.
You hear nothing. You listen as intently as you can and hear nothing.
All right. So I open the door.
Okay. You open the door, and I'll describe what you see in there. There's an upside table in the middle of the room, and there are books scattered around it. Clinging to the bowed outer wall is an upside down fireplace. Along that same wall is a window with nothing but hard packed earth beyond it. So you see some books scattered around the floor and things like that.
Okay. Before going further, I guess I'll investigate the remnants of the furniture in here and the books to see if there's anything of value.
Okay, roll me investigation.
Okay. Hopefully that goes better than my listening. Nope, it's not. Nope.
You pick up a book on the ground. It's Anjamar's Guide to the Fantastic. It's a breezy, light-hearted treatise on illusion magic.
Well,
it's old. It's sort of written in that kind of like Middle English kind of stuff. It's a treatise on illusion magic.
Is it in good shape?
Yeah, it's readable stuff.
Okay, well, I'll put it in my pack and I'll say, Shrubwad, here's some reading material.
Our boy. In this room, there are 2 other doors, one to your southeast and one to the immediate west. As you enter the room, Zarya, you see other books scattered amongst the floor. And yeah. Actually, as you enter this room, the 2 of you, it's weird. Because you entered the room and it's like pure dead silent. Dead silent. In fact, you see, I think, maybe Ordella and Harkus having like a conversation outside or something. But you don't hear a thing they say.
I imagine well, okay, is there something on the ground that I can pick up?
Yeah, there are books scattered around and like rocks and bits of furniture. There's an upside down table.
I'm gonna pick up a book and then I'm gonna drop it. Does it make a noise?
Falls to the ground and makes absolutely no noise.
Okay, can I stick my head out the door and say, we can't hear anything in here. Can you guys?
Yep, as you stick your head out the door, you hear all the sounds of everything happening again. Like
okay.
all
as I'm saying that sentence, I'm gonna like bring my head back into the room so that and see if they can hear me like finish the sentence.
Nope.
When I'm speaking within it. Okay.
Nope, your sentence just disappears as you enter the room.
Okay. So I'm just staring at them.
Yep.
To see if they comprehend it.
Your lips are moving, but no sound.
So I'm guessing at this point I would have noticed this too.
Yeah, you notice their lips not moving. Are you sort of investigating things, or just sort of staring at it? Just tell me what you're doing.
I think I repeat Zaria's little experiment to prove to myself that what just happened, that this room is just completely silent.
This room is dead silent. You drop the book and nothing. Yeah, you had a real bad investigation check.
Yeah. Yeah, I did. Some would argue it could not have gotten worse.
But, that was your investigation. Just depends on what other people are doing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Jeff, as I walk into the room and walk over to this door, like when I step in the room, Leonard has sort of a background radiation of noise because he's a robot.
Yep.
Does that go away completely?
Gone. All your internal buzzing and clicking, you can't hear your heart buzz.
But I still seem to be working.
Yep, your internal pumps, you can't hear them.
All right. I'm going to walk over this door and check it out, try to perhaps open it.
Okay, it is not locked.
Okay.
Open it up. As you open it up, this room contains the shattered remains of a desk and some chairs. And like the other room, you discover that it is entirely silent here.
Can I cast light on a book in here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Does it actually take?
Is light a spell that requires a vocal component?
It does.
You can't cast it.
Okay. Can I just wander around the room and see if I can see anything that might be the source of this?
Roll investigation. Roll investigation. You don't identify a source, but as you're sort of looking around, you do notice a placard on the ground outside of the door above it that is upside down and written in sort of this hard to understand language. But as best you're able to interpret it, it says reading room / study.
Okay. I'm just going to point to the sign. And try to get anybody's attention and then point to the sign.
Yeah. It's basically a reading room.
Well, that's super cool.
Can roll insight, I suppose, if you want to. Zarya, you're a magic user.
Sure.
Well, if you roll well enough, I'll give you. Yeah, somebody has cast some sort of permanent silence spell on the reading room.
Okay.
Get quiet to read, study. There are also books scattered around the floor. With a 26 investigation check, you also or that's an insight, never mind. With a 15 investigation check, you determine that there have been somebody else here in the not hundreds and hundreds of years ago. You sort of already knew that because these tunnels have been dug, but the books have been picked over. And there are a couple more left, but it's like maybe some of the better ones have been taken.
Okay.
Like, it's been sort of raided before. Yeah, there's also a door to the south and east in this room.
I mean, if nobody else is going to walk over to it, I'll go and open the door.
It's up to you guys. I don't want to metagame you. You can do whatever you want. You open that door, and inside you find a collapsed staircase that once connected to that staircase that you saw at the end of the hall in the what would have been lower level or higher level, which you first came into, that was collapsed and filled with rubble. As you look around, you notice something sticking out of the rubble that looks misplaced. It is a human skeleton.
Okay. Can I take a closer look at it? Does it look like it died and whatever caused this to fall,
Sure.
or
Roll investigation again, as you want to take a closer look at it. Yeah, it's been crushed, and it looks like its skull was basically crushed by the fall. You do notice one thing that is interesting. One of its fingers has been sawed off, obviously after death, with some sort of like material to saw off a finger.
okay?
The skeleton is wearing tattered robes of like a wizard.
Okay. Is there anything else on the body? Pockets or anything?
No, just a tattered robe. Somebody has cut a finger off of it. In the larger room with the two empty metal cages that are broken down, there is another door that is closed, and then there is a hole heading deeper/higher.
Is there anything in this room? This silent room?
Books.
Look around.
Just books on the ground. You can roll investigation if you want to.
Yeah, so I'm still looking for background.
Like more information about...
Like more information about the culture or the
Yeah.
tower or people.
Yeah, sure. Roll me investigation.
26!
Wow, okay. So you find a book called... You find the book Anjamar's Guide to the Fantastic that Cadillac had put in his pocket.
Mhm.
You see right through his pocket into that book, and you determine that it is a school book for children learning the art of illusionary magic. You also find a book called The Unfettered Mind that discusses how one might exist solely as a disembodied brain, preserved for eons in magical suspension fluid in the clutches of... and it includes sketches of brains in jars. You also find a book called The Mysteries of the Therium that it talks about something called the Pharim, P-H-A-E-R-I-M-M, that are telepathic funnel-shaped monsters that lurk in the Underdark, and has sketches of them. And there's another book you find called Wizards in the Hollow that describes basically the birth of the Netherese Empire.
Ooh, that one.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to take all of them.
Yeah. It is about the lives of 3 Netherese wizards. And as you're sort of thumbing through that with a critical investigation check, you learn that the Netherese were basically a race of wizards where people had harnessed magic and had become nigh unto gods. They had built cities that were capable of flying, and all of the cities hovered in the air through the use of their powerful magics, and that their magical prowess was stronger than even wish spells. They were able to cast 10th level, 13th level, 14th level spells, higher than anything you can even like conceive of today. And the book talks about something that they called the Cataclysm, where it seems like the goddess of magic Mystra has turned upon the Netherese, and the empire seems to be starting to fall.
Is there a date on that?
Let me see. Yeah.
Or like, can I get a sense of how long ago it is?
Yeah.
Not so much an exact date, but are we talking like this was 10,000 years ago, or?
Is there one of the library checkout cards in the front?
Yeah, there is. Let's see here. Let's see if I can give you a date here. This would have taken place long ago. Over 1,000 years. So 38, 30, and you're currently in. You're currently in 1489. So 2,000 years ago or longer.
Okay, so well out of recent memory.
Couple thousand years, greater than a couple thousand years.
I'm gonna pocket all these books and rejoin the group.
Netheril was founded in 3880, and you're currently in the minus 3880. It's even longer. Was founded in minus 3880, and you currently are in positive 1489.
Oh, so 5,000 years ago.
5,000 years ago. By Dale reckoning.
Okay.
Yeah, so it has those dates. So you determined that like Netheril's 5,000 years old and some ancient power, but tremendously powerful. You never even heard of this, I think. Okay, that's what you find.
All right.
What are the rest of you guys doing?
I'm investigating this door out here because I'm fairly certain there's a pelt behind it.
Okay. You open up the door attached to the ceiling, and inside you find a spiraled staircase that is completely crumbled and collapsed and nigh impassable. It heads what would be downward or upwards, actually. So it's kind of like on the ceiling, but like caved in. So it would have been a spiral staircase going for you, it's up, but would have been down when the thing was right side up. I know that's hard to sort of conceptualize. But yeah, impassable with
Regardless,
rubble.
I'm very disappointed.
Such as it is.
Can I make out any additional detail about these cages as to, like, for example, are they the same age as everything else, or are they newer?
A good question. I guess roll investigation.
Oh dear. Maybe.
Okay.
For the remainder of the day,
I was going to say.
For the remainder of the day, Cadillac will be using passive perception and passive investigation.
Actually, that's a good question. So if my passive perception is infinitely better than my
Technically, if you're using passive rules, you can't do any worse than that, but I think that's no fun.
Okay.
Cadillac, as you look at the cages, you touch one of them and it falls, the hinge falls off and hits the ground, the door falls off. And inside there is a body of a creature, but you don't know what it is, or like you're not able to glean any other information about the age of it or anything like that, or the age of the cage. You clumsily investigate and accidentally knock the door off of the cage, which falls to the ground in a heap, and there is some sort of body inside of that cage.
And I'm sure it made a hell of a racket.
made a tremendous racket. There's a big racket made.
Can you throw it quickly into the silent room and pretend that nothing happened?
Even Cadillac's not that dumb. Fool of a toque. Yep. So there's some sort of body in there.
What kind of body?
Roll investigation.
Yeah.
It's weird looking. It's got like pokey, pointy things coming off of it in odd directions. Roll, as you're sort of looking at trying to figure it out, roll a nature check. You didn't have a very good investigation.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's not...
This looks like a cat. I've heard of these.
It's a pokey, pointy body. It is about person sized, but it's weird looking.
Can I walk over and investigate it, thinking that there might be a pelt?
Yeah, she's already poked at it and prodded at it. You can roll me a nature check. It's kind of bug looking.
You agree it must be a cat as well.
It's got a decaying or a like desiccated and mummified carapace or something. Like a giant cockroach.
I pour a little bit of water on it to see if I can rehydrate the
You know what the good part about this is, though? The law of averages says that we're getting all of our dreadful rolls in on this stuff that doesn't matter.
That's definitely how statistics works.
Exactly.
It's not count in D&D. You know that.
I know nothing of the sort.
Yeah, the ancient carapace, the 2,000-year-old mummified carapace takes the water and lets out a smell that is indescribable.
Does it smell like money?
Indescribable.
Damn it.
You would say no. It does not smell like gold pieces. More like rot.
Oh, well.
Yeah, I'm sorry I can't give you more, guys. Just bad rolls. Y'all suck.
Yeah.
We know.
So I turn to the group and I say, I wonder what the cages were doing here, because the other room seems like a library. Were these people that made too much noise? I don't understand.
Yeah, you don't know.
Yeah,
Were they brought here?
I was gonna turn and look at him and say late fees.
Return your library books.
Yeah.
Rewind your VHS.
You're right.
Rewind your library books.
Be kind, rewind.
All right. You going down?
Yep.
Okay. Lower in your light up book or nay. All right. The drop is a little bit longer this time than it was prior times, but not a ton. The total drop is probably 15 feet to the ceiling floor of the next room. And as you peer down, you again see sort of a marbled ceiling, but not much, relatively featureless down there. Who's climbing in? Who's jumping in first, second?
I'll go second. I'll go first because I don't want to land on anybody on a robot.
Well, I can sort of glide down, basically.
Okay, whatever you like.
I have a slow fall that I can just sort of.
Arcus, you slowly descend into another room, landing right here. And as you descend into that room about 15 feet down, the chamber appears to have been some sort of wizard's laboratory. as evidenced by the upside-down storage cupboards and empty shelves fastened to the walls. The shattered glass, now chemical equipment strewn across the floor, and the arcane symbols painted on what is now the ceiling in the middle of this space. There are 5-foot wide passageways punched through the ceiling and floor, leading to other levels. Near them, a partially collapsed wall exposes a room that lies beyond. Over here, there are doors here and one to the north. Over here.
In the rubble down here, do I see, is there anything sort of intact that may be of interest or use? Or is it all rubble?
Well, you can certainly roll me either investigation or perception, looking around to see if you find something.
I would like to investigate.
Okay. 14. Yeah, you find lying on the ground an amulet that strikes you as something interesting. Let me see if I have a handout for it, okay? I don't know if I do. I bet I do. You find an amulet. It's got 3 sigils carved into it. And I don't know. I don't seem to have one immediately available. I'll get you a handout, but you find an amulet.
Okay. And I'll just put that in my pocket for later.
Yep.
And then I'm going to go and look at this door right here.
Okay.
So while he's investigating, I'm going to climb down the rope.
All right. You climb on down the rope, Zarya, and land yourself in the same spot. You see the giant hole heading downwards, and the other room across the way. You see a door to the north, and you see Harkus poking at the door here. Harkus, you open it, and you again find the rubbled spiral staircase that you previously saw. Is anybody else lowering themselves down? Are you calling out, telling them it's safe?
Yeah, I'm going to scream, damn it, because I've just found in what I thought was going to be a room full of pelts and treasure, the other half of that stupid staircase.
As you scream, damn it, the door on the opposite side opens.
Ooh, magic words.
And stepping out of the magical door are 2 creatures. One is a humanoid person, and the other one is some sort of and he looks like almost like an undead looking thing. He's got pale blue eyes and looks sort of undeadish looking. 2 figures are standing there. The undead one is wearing leather armor, has dead gray flesh drawn tightly over his bones, and his face is locked in some sort of terrible scowl. And the other one is a fairly attractive young man in cold weather clothing, wearing a frayed witch's hat. He has studious eyes and a relatively warm smile. And as you shout out, damn it, the young man sort of looks over at you, and he says, "Welcome to the Lost Spire of Netheril. My name is Dazin."
Hello. Sorry to have woken you up. I was simply frustrated by the fact that I have once again come upon a completely destroyed staircase.
Oh, well, you did not wake me. I very much appreciate you. In fact, I am glad that I am so glad that you are here. Now, what are the rest of you guys doing before I get too far into this NPC that is just appeared?
I'm jumping down the hall.
Because he's unaware of the rest of you guys, so like y'all have the drop. All right, Leonard,
he's getting Leonard in a blade drop through the hole.
You land on one knee, and put your arms
one
up
knee,
the side,
fist
like
the ground, arm out to the
Superhero
side.
pose.
But
blade drop. All right, what about the rest of you guys? The ones upstairs or former down?
I'm gonna drop down too because I heard him yell "damn it" and I thought he might be in trouble.
Okay, Yatara, you land next to Leonard doing a superhero pose, and you see the young man that you heard say through the hole say, "Welcome to the lost spire of Netheril. I am Dazan." And as you look at him, it is abundantly clear you have seen this man before. Especially you, Yatara, because the last time you saw this man was being burned alive at the stake in this town hall in the city of East Haven.
Oh.
100% same guy.
Danger, Will Robinson.
Now, Cadillac and Ordella are still upstairs. What about you two?
So when we dropped down into this room, did we, I can't recall, did we lower ourselves using a rope or did we just jump?
You lowered via rope. Everybody's sort of jumping this one because it hasn't been that deep, 15 feet.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that we had a way back up each level that we've gone down. Because I have some rope that I could tie off with if we don't.
The other level you've made a rope to rope your way out of, and you can easily tie a rope real quick to lower yourself down here.
Okay, then yeah, I'm going to do that. I guess I'll tie it to the side of the cage.
Okay, it pulls the cage into the hole, it crashes down. The insect, no, fine. You managed to find a sturdy place to rope it off. You're not dumb. Cadillac, you lower down. Ordella, what about you?
Guess I'm going too.
Okay. You lower down, and the man in the witch's hat and his undead warrior companion, he looks over at you and he says, "Oh, there's more. Excellent. I'm so glad all of you have arrived."
This kid turned out good.
Do I believe him?
Oh yes,
Is
he
he
is
really
glad we're here.
Is he really glad, or did his perception, his demeanor or anything change when more people started appearing?
Roll insight.
Okay.
He's genuinely excited to see other living people.
For what
Okay.
purpose?
He looks over at you all and he says, "Well, who asked him what he was doing here?"
Me.
Yeah, as you did that, he said, "Well, you did not disturb me. I have been very busy. Here with Krintas, my bodyguard, I have been working tirelessly to understand the workings of the lower chambers here." He says, "Let me explain. I am a simulacrum of my creator. This tower is but a fragment of a flying Netherese city that crashed 2,000 years ago and is buried somewhere beneath this glacier. On the lowest level of this tower, my creator found a chamber that can turn illusions into reality. The life spark of a living creature is needed to activate its power. As a creation of snow and shadow, I have no life spark of my own. And Krintas, my bodyguard here, he is of unfortunately no help. I assure you the chamber can in no way harm anyone. I would like to you know, as the old story says, Pinocchio myself to a real boy. But here you are, living people with life spark.
We'd like to stay that way.
Of course, I mean you no harm, absolutely. And he looks over and says, "Oh, I see someone has found the amulet. You may keep it, it is yours."
I sort of step forward here, and then I say, in the name of Sylvanus, speak true.
Okay, to both of them, or is that targeting a? Oh, it's a zone.
That's targeting the zone that they're in.
Okay.
And I say, we have traveled a long way, and we come in peace, and we are trying to bring an end to the terrors that are in the Icewind Dale, but we need to know that we can trust you and trust people that we come across, because these are dark days.
The undead bodyguard just sort of looks at you and just goes, and kind of wanders out of the zone as if he's unaffected by it. But Dazin's simulacrum has failed the check, and he looks over at you and he says, "Well, my master sought the power of this crashed empire, and I suppose I have no quarrel with you trying to end the darkness of these days. I simply wish to maintain the life spark, to achieve my own life spark."
What is the true power of what lies below?
As I've told you honestly, it's a chamber that can turn illusions into reality. Activate via the life spark. Unfortunately, he says, unfortunately, this is but a fragment of the Netherese city, and although my master found it, it doesn't connect to the rest. However, it did contain a map, a understanding of the remainder of the city and its trajectory. So with that, you could easily find the location of the remainder of the city. Like, a map's not the exact way to say it. Like the coordinates and like path the city was traveling while it was flying, that one could use to sort of calculate where it had crashed at.
When you say illusion, do you mean a thought? Do you mean a dream? Do you mean...
I mean illusion. Like illusory magics. Not thoughts or dreams, but like that which is made of illusion.
So it would turn a mage hand into a bloody hand.
Well, I suppose if you wanted it to be a bloody hand. He hands you a book, and the book is titled From Shadow to Substance. And it discusses how one might harness the weave to turn an illusory object or creature into its real counterpart. And it includes commentary and criticism from very noteworthy Netherese illusionists.
As he's handing over the book, can I take a look at his hand and see if he's wearing a ring?
Yeah, sure. He is not wearing any rings. You wanted to know if he had cut the hand off of the dead person for the ring.
Yes.
He did not. That is exactly what had happened. Somebody had cut the hand off of the wizard for a ring. Good insight. But it is not this simulacrum.
Can you tell me about this amulet?
Yatara, you're the only one that for sure knows that this is the simulacrum of the wizard that was executed. I don't know if you're holding that information back or what you're going to do with that, because you're the one that caught his eye and recognized, and you still recognize, and maybe nobody else here does with your wizardly background, that this is a Thayan person. I don't know who all saw the D&D movie, but he's a Thay.
And I'm not going to call it out to the group right now.
Okay. Just kind of keeping that in your pocket.
Yeah.
You also know that he was a member of the Arcane Brotherhood by the sigils that he bore when he was executed. Okay, yeah, that's what he hands you that book.
Have you been to the rest of the tower?
Oh yes, there's one level deeper that was the former top of the tower. That goes further down that contains the magical abilities that I'm speaking of. I'm hopeful that you all will use your life spark to provide aid to me.
Who and what else is in this tower?
Actually, I want to make sure that I tell you correctly. Hang on.
Okay.
About where what is, okay? So let me be sure I'm telling you right. Let me just check my references here. Alright. Directory, upside down room, chamber. Okay. All right, I apologize. Yeah, okay. He says, well, the only thing I know of here in this chamber is myself and Krintas here. The only ones that I'm aware of that are here.
You say in this chamber. What about the rest of the tower? Remainder of the tower?
Just us, I think. I have heard some strange noises. Perhaps animals that have made their way in. I've been holed up here in this reading room trying to decipher the secrets, and I've been here now for, I don't know, maybe a week, month. I don't need food or water to eat, live, or sleep. It's very odd. So time has become different. I've been trying to figure out if there's been another way to activate the rune chamber without the life spark. I did catch a fox. I tried it. It was unfortunately not effective. Occasionally animals have made their way in here. Other than that, just us as far as I know.
What happened to the fox?
It just didn't work. I let it go.
In what, like, under its own power?
Yeah?
Okay.
I don't need to eat it. I mean, if you need to eat it, you might could catch it.
Making sure you didn't have to just, like, toss it.
The rune chamber like murders the fox. No, he says it just didn't work.
Does the donation of the life spark extinguish the existence of the donator, to your knowledge, if it did work?
No. I think it requires an intelligence. I've tried casting.
Control, you're out.
I've tried casting Awaken on animals to see if by awakening them it would work. but I haven't been able. I've thought about. Well, I should say I've thought about casting Awaken, but I haven't found the right spell scroll yet. I've been searching through these books, and I haven't been able to catch another creature.
How many critters have you awoken?
No, I haven't been able to find the right spell scroll for Awaken.
Oh.
None. 0. But it's a thought.
It is a thought. Are there any other copies of you?
No, not to my knowledge. My creator only made me.
Named you Lore.
But I've been holed up in this room for the past several weeks. I've just been studying books, reading them all. There's some other interesting copies in here if you'd like. He hands you another book called Here Lies the King, which is an elaborately plotted novel featuring an illusionist who plans to use magic to impersonate a prince to supplant a king. It didn't tell me much about how to activate the chamber, but I read it.
Knowledge is power.
So they say. And his bodyguard creatures kind of.
I'm going to ask him if I can try to help find the spell in the books that he has not. I mean, I don't know how I could thumb through them quickly to find
He
it.
says, I don't think that it, awakening a creature will be necessary. I think that all it would take is the life spark of an intelligent one of you to just enter the chamber and it could activate.
If he's looking for intelligence, he might want to rely on a different party.
Yeah.
At this point.
You all have the life spark.
Does it do any harm to anyone's life spark? Do we lose anything?
I don't think so. He's in Zone of Truth. So he's being entirely honest. He says, I don't think so.
How much do you know about the... do you only know what you've read about this tower, or do you have more first-hand direct knowledge?
He said, well, there's there's Loros's illusion, and he could speak to you and tell you some things.
Is he a Netherese?
Yeah, it's sort of like the best way I could describe it and how he would describe it that you guys would understand is think like Princess Leia's hologram recording. There's basically a hologram recording of an ancient Netherese wizard who created this device.
Is it... trying to think of the right way to put this. Would the Netherese have cast spells for the defense of this mechanism? That by entering in, we may trigger something. Do you know anything about that?
He doesn't. Or
would he?
He doesn't know.
Because I have a bad feeling about that chamber.
He doesn't know. He says, I don't think so. This was obviously the spire of a wizard inventor of the great Netherese Empire who created many magical things. He had an apprentice wizard with him, and he created such a thing as to turn illusions. This was obviously a powerful Netherese illusionist. He created this to turn illusions into realities and illusory creatures as well. With the life spark, I could become a real flesh and blood creature and no longer made of shadow and snow. I would leave you be, and I would give you all the information I have if you would do this for me.
I'm going to ask him, since he's still telling the truth, what does he intend to do after?
Well, I suppose I would head out to maybe find my creator. He left for town to get supplies some weeks ago. He's not returned.
Do you know what the Netherese would be using those cages that were above us for? What were those things?
It says, well, one of them looked like an ancient thrycreen, captured from other dimensions. I don't know what they were doing with them, but I think maybe experimenting.
Perhaps testing with their life spark?
Perhaps. Maybe. Or perhaps they were illusory things that he had created and turned real. I don't know. That's not documented. If I was let free, I would go seek out a spell book. I know the spells that my master had memorized, but he took his spell book with him, and I can't cast any spells beyond that. And I must be honest, I'm low on spell slots. He says, after that, my business, I think, is my own.
If we were to help you gain your, I'm not sure, was it right? Sentience?
Yeah, basically.
If we were to help you gain your sentience, we are in a very important struggle, and we need all the allies we can get. Might we request your aid, and then after that task is done, we might release you to your own devices?
Roll persuasion.
Oh God, here we go. Damn it.
He looks over at you and says, that depends on what your task is. I'm not
Saving
interested
the world.
in
Yeah, I
saving
just sort of mumble really low. Oh, just destroy this Icewind and then.
I think that roll me insight. Oh, he's in zone of truth. Shit, he can't lie.
Glory to Sylvanus.
He tries to fib at you, and it just like won't come out, and says, I don't really have any interest in dying in a quest after I gain my sentience.
Well, the people of the Icewind Dale don't have any interest in dying, but that's what's happening by
I'm not at
by
all
the
I ask.
turn.
All I ask of you is all you have to do is, as I enter the chamber, just place your hand upon me and the power will commence. No harm will come to you, no harm will come to me. Bob's your uncle, I gain my life. Is that a price that you're willing to extract my servitude from?
Is this going to be like The Fly, or that episode of Star Trek where Neelix and where it's like Tuvok and stuff, and we like merge with him?
Is it too much to ask to help the good people of this world who desperately need all the help they can get?
Okay, roll me persuasion again.
Oh God.
The DC just got harder.
Oh God, oh God, oh God. You said persuasion?
Mm-hmm. Somebody can help him. Is anybody else trying to help Cadillac?
Not very persuasive.
At this point, I'm just thinking about letting, if no harm is going to come to me, just not having to suffer through this conversation anymore and letting him have a little bit of the spark.
This endless debate. right.
Because
That's fair.
As long as he is guaranteeing that nothing will happen to me, then I'm willing to sort of
Shove the guy in the
jumpstart
chamber
car,
and start
I guess.
pushing buttons.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Well, chamber is in the lower levels.
All right, let's go. If this is the end of Harkus, so be it.
Yeah. You all lower yourself down into the lower levels, followed by the Simulacrum Man and by the undead bodyguard thing. And as you enter this room, everybody roll perception. Wow, now you're rolling good. As you enter this room, there is rusty tableware, shattered plates, and broken chairs scattered among the floor. This appears to be an old refectory where the Spire's inhabitants would have gathered for meals. As you sort of enter the room, you all, basically everybody, detects a subtle sign of movement and hear a noise of some creature that blends in incredibly well with the rubble and is moving in the far corner of the room over here beyond the tables. So that's what you see, some sort of creature moving. Is blending in very well. What do you all do?
Anybody got a freeze spell?
Yep, you have a moment to act.
I can make it visible probably, but I'd have to attack.
Okay.
Where are the berries? Throw the berries at it. Throw wad.
As you're pondering, two creatures sort of unravel themselves as they seem to have been curled up into the corner, and begin to stare at all of you. And it is a familiar-looking creature because the last time you saw something like this, one of your companions was lost beneath the waves of a ship.
No!
Oh, fantastic.
They both let out sort of a roar at you guys. Everybody, including Dazen Simulacrum, can roll me initiative, please.
Did he even know they were there?
He did not.
It's not.
Likely story.
He's not interested in dying.
It's not even alive yet.
Isn't it?
I mean, what's it gonna do to him? He brought them food.
He's not even real anyway.
You guys are so cynical.
Thinking about Pinocchioing Shrubwood.
Shrubwood already is alive.
Can make him aliver.
First up in the order is...
I've never seen these guys.
You've seen them, haven't you? Did you not see them on the ship when you lost when Toot was lost?
I wasn't there.
Where were you?
Well, I
He was
guess
topside, I think.
Leonard theoretically was there, but powered down.
Very good. Yatara, you're up first.
Do not cast Fireball.
Do it. Do it.
But ooh,
What's you got for me, Utara?
I actually cast Hypnotic Pattern on both of them.
Okay. Hypnotic Pattern on both of them. So they need to make saving throws.
Yeah.
Woo, that's a big saving throw. They're not very wise. They both fail. So they are both entirely hypnotized. How long does that last for?
For 1 minute.
All right. You have a minute to go explore around here to make your escape and leave them alone as they're hypnotized, or you have a minute to position yourselves and plan whatever action you're going to take. I think once they take damage, the hypnotic pattern goes away.
That's correct, yeah. But we can wail on one of them.
Yeah, you can waylay on one of them. The Simulacrum Man is up next, and he sort of turns to you guys and says, well, I have magic missiles, and I have Shocking Grasp and Acid Splash. What, I'm running low on spellcasting abilities. What should we do? And he looks to you guys to tell him what to do. Who's taking charge? He looks at Cadillac.
Oh God.
Oh God. Cadillac's going to talk to him for 4 hours.
You were the one that started. Hey, I'm sorry we bored you with the role play D&D.
No, I just Harkus is sort of he's a George Bush kind of, I go with my gut kind of a guy.
I remember dealing with these in the Death of Toot moment, and so I just say maybe we get while the getting's good.
That's what I was going to suggest. Let's get on up.
Toot is not dead. He says, but you have to help me. You have to make me whole.
We will in the other room.
He
away
says
from
it's
these
here.
creatures.
He says it's here and opens the door. And says, fine, then come with me. And then
is there another way out?
Only up.
There's a whole bunch more in there.
From another room besides this one.
No, it's just above you. And he points to the other wizard in the hole up there. And you told him to exit, so he enters the hall and says, this way to the chamber that will allow me to become real. And he steps into the hallway.
I'm gonna follow him.
No, don't follow it.
All right.
I'm
going to follow him.
Fireball.
Hold on, we're in initiative order here. Basilisk is up next. Leonard is next. Leonard, what are you doing? Are you following him?
Leonard.
Okay, Leonard.
Both of the basilisk creatures have their eyes glazed over, and they're doing the hypnotoad thing right now.
Yeah, so I was going to attack them, but I'm not going to attack them. I think.
Are you following the wizard man?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna get out.
Okay. All right.
In my best Admiral Akbar, it's a trap.
I'm gonna go into this hallway with him.
Okay.
I'm gonna die.
He runs. All right, everybody, we're gonna pause initiative for the moment. He runs down the hallway, with Leonard and Cadillac, and who else was following?
Cadillac, were you running that way too?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, who else is following?
I was gonna follow.
Yatara and Leonard and Cadillac are running down the hall. Is anybody who else is going?
I'm not staying in a room with
Yeah, me neither.
basilisks by myself.
All right, Harkus
I'll
and
leave.
Split the party.
I'll follow.
Harkus and Ordella and
Lord
Zarya.
Jesus, fine.
Everyone enters the hallway.
And now we're trapped.
He runs down the hall and opens another door that's again upside down, and runs into this chamber over here.
Close the door behind us.
No, the door's open.
Ah.
Are you entering here?
Yes.
All right, I will move everybody into that room. Leonard, are you doing different?
Well, so I kind of wanted to see if I could barricade this door, because I don't know when that hypnotic pattern wears off.
1 minute.
That's what I was saying. If we could, like, shut the door and block it.
How are you going to do that, Leonard?
Well, what is this?
Bits of broken furniture and things. As you enter this chamber, the walls of this chamber are inscribed with interconnected runes. The runes are marred with cracks. What is now the ceiling bears inscriptions that swirl inward, converging around a golden crystal disc 5 feet in diameter. As you enter the room, that's what you find. There are bits of broken stuff, and there was broken furniture in the other room.
Does this door open inward or outward?
Which door?
I mean, the door that he's trying to block.
Oh, you're trying to block the door to this chamber here?
I think that's the one he was trying to do.
We'll say that it opens in. We'll say that it opens inward, such that you could barricade it, or you could barricade this one.
What about this one? This one opens into the hallway?
Yeah, sure. So that you could barricade it.
I would like to barricade it just because I don't know what's in these other rooms. But
okay,
I feel like, you know, that section when you're about to get to the end boss in a video game dungeon, and there are like all these other hallways that don't lead anywhere important, but have like a giant sword at the end of them.
Yeah.
I don't want to miss the flame-tongue greatsword.
Gotcha. For sure.
Or the flaming, raging, poisonous sword of doom.
Yeah. You never want to miss the flaming, raging, poisoning sword of doom. Yeah, so you, I don't know, roll me in, I guess, like...
I've got, from long, long ago, we took apart a sled.
Yeah.
And I have the sled bars.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what I would like to do is artifice some sort of like sled bar reinforced barricade.
Okay. So just roll me like your spellcasting modifier, your artificing ability, and take advantage on it since you have the materials to barricade it.
What are my spellcasting modifiers?
Now, I want you to realize you're barricading your only exit away from yourself.
I realize that.
We can debarricade. But
I can explode a barricade. I can't easily explode a basilisk.
True. Okay. Your spellcasting is based on what, intelligence?
Yeah.
So roll me an intelligence check plus your proficiency bonus.
Okay.
To basically like artifice this with advantage.
That's going to be a 10.
10. Yeah, you create a barricade with a 10. It's maybe not the best barricade, like it may be able to be broken down by something big eventually. Something eventually could sort of break through it. But you think it'll hold for a little while at least.
All right, then I'm going to kick open this door.
Which door? That one over there?
This one.
You find a broken down, crumbled spiral staircase.
Does it go anywhere useful?
It goes what would have been down, but now is up. But
so not the way we need to go to get to the lower levels.
No, it is impassable. You seem to be on. You seem to be on the lowest level.
Okay, then I'm going to open this door by Big Ugly.
Okay, you open the door by Big Ugly, and as you look inside there, It is a bedroom. It is upside down on the floor. Its rotted blankets are peeking out from underneath disintegrated mattresses. Mounted to the wall, to the north wall, is a tall, cracked mirror in a stone frame that merges seamlessly with the surrounding wall. Lying underneath two dirt-clogged windows is a partially crumbled, rime-covered human skeleton in tattered shreds of a nightgown.
All right. I'm going to search the body.
You're going to search the body?
But I feel a little bad about it.
Okay, roll me investigation.
Do I get advantage because I feel bad about it?
No.
All right, 25.
Okay. As you do so, you find a key on the disintegrating body. But as you do, a small spirit rises up from the body and looks at you, and it curses at you in a language that you don't understand really well. And Leonard, this thing rises up from the body. It as it curses at you in this sort of strange language, it zaps at you. Does a 23 hit you?
Mm-hmm.
You take 2 lightning damage.
Oh, okay.
From the thing as it zaps at you.
But I have the key in my hand.
You have a key in your hand. Yep. And we're gonna roll a Leonard only. We're just gonna go back and forth. It's your turn, Leonard. Unless you're calling for your compatriots, you're in initiative by yourself with this ghost monster.
I've got the key.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna look around. Do I see anything that the key goes to?
Roll me perception. I don't know how well your perception is as this thing zaps you.
Not great.
There's a chest in the room.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to use my action to summon the drone.
Okay. All right. You have the drone. Give me a minute to get it, but you have the drone.
And then the drone is going to do the drone thing.
What's the drone going to do? So the drone's going to flamethrow at the
at the will-o-wisp.
At the will-o-wisp, and it has to make a dex save.
It has to make a dex save.
19.
Okay, so half of 13, 6 fire damage.
And it takes half of that.
It takes half of that?
It's resistant to fire.
Okay.
All right, it's the will-o-wisp's turn.
Then I'm going to move to the doorway.
It's going to shock you.
Yep.
7.
Okay, that's a miss.
Okay, it's going to follow you to the doorway.
All right.
Your turn.
I am going to... Again, the drone is going to drone.
Yeah.
I really wish I had a button for this.
22 for the dex save.
Okay, did that roll? Okay,
so it passes. It takes one damage.
Okay.
And it's going to zap you.
Hang on. It's my turn. That was the drone.
Oh, yeah, okay, your turn.
Okay.
That's the drone.
I'm going to pull out my laser pistol.
Okay.
And shoot it.
I love it. Yeah. That's a miss.
Oh.
13 unfortunately is a miss.
Hang on. Is a 16 a hit?
It is not. It is a little will-o-wisp.
Okay. I'm gonna use my inspiration and re-roll that attack.
Okay. That'll do it.
Okay.
Wow. Okay, so wait. That's 12 plus 8. Oh shit. Okay. Leonard, describe how you laser pistol and just it explodes in one laser pistol shot. Like, what is this what is this Indiana Jones and the dude flailing the sword? You just pull out a fucking laser pistol and blast it in a single shot.
Leonard pulls out the laser pistol for this close range will-o'-the-wisp, fumbles a little with it at first, then straightens up his aim and pulls the trigger, and you see just smoke coming off the barrel. A purple laser shoots through the will-o'-wisp and it just dissipates.
Yeah, it's gone.
Now I've got the key. I'm gonna unlock the chest.
You definitely do. Leonard just laser pistoled it himself.
Got
Leonard,
that barrier out of the way. All right, now on to better things. Let's see what's in the chest. 6 more will-o'-wisps.
It's a mimic.
Even better.
Leonard, there is a ancient leather-bound book bearing a rune on its spine in there.
All right, done and done. Grabbing it and going.
As you grab the book, it disintegrates in your hands, falling into dust.
Can't have nice things.
Is there anything else in the chest?
There is a scroll.
As I sift through the ashes of the book.
As you sift through the ashes of the book, there is a scroll that is left.
I'm going to carefully pick up the scroll, like with my glove, like not touching it.
Yep. You got it. There's a scroll. You have it. The scroll seems to be of a little firmer stuff than the book that just fell apart.
All right. I'm going.
It's almost like the book had some sort of protective spell on it if the wrong person tried to grab it.
That's what I figured. Did I see the title of the book before it disintegrated?
It appeared to be a spell book with the sigil of a wizard on it.
Oh. Sorry, Yatara.
So it was essentially a Netherese spell book.
Yeah, I messed up. It was the greatest spell book in the land.
Those 18th level spells.
Right.
But I don't know. Like, hurt me. Just don't tell me.
There was a spell in there called Create Planet. Like, make a new planet.
Okay, I don't want to say this because I worry that you're going to take it to heart, but I feel like I have been lulled into a sense of security due to the lack of traps in Jeffrey Garner campaigns.
I don't like to. I don't love the. There have been traps. You guys got totally trapped by.
Now we're gonna get a whole bunch of traps things.
You guys got totally.
Everything is gonna be mimic.
By the exploding room in Zardok's keep. You know, that thing was totally trapped. No, this wasn't trapped. It just was warded with a spell that disintegrated the book if you grabbed it without doing the right thing.
Yeah, all right, I'm going to go into the room with everybody else.
All right, you enter this room. Inside of this room, the walls of the chamber are inscribed with interconnected runes marred with cracks. What is now the ceiling bears similar inscriptions that swirl inward, converging around a golden crystal disc 5 feet in diameter. As you enter, an illusory figure appears in the far corner of the room, standing on the ceiling upside down. It appears to be the same long-faced human wizard that was depicted in those statues you saw at the entrance. And it begins speaking in a strange, forgotten language. Yo so Tashi, Eson Kitala, Rihal, Wadoshe, Mokambe, Sentasabo, Tekra, Rayu, etc.
I ask our friend if he can translate.
He says, well, a little bit. He says something, behold my masterpiece. Here, illusions can be made real. Shadows become substance. Let it stand atop the crystal disc, and the rune chamber will do its work. And he runs and jumps over to the crystalline disc that is sort of in the center of the room. and climbs up on it.
All right. I'll get on the disc.
Roll perception, everybody. The
Oh. Oops.
Cadillac, you're looking around this room, and there are various runes and things scattered around the room. But the thing that stands out to you the most, Cadillac, is that the runes etched on the walls are all cracked and damaged. As you step onto the disc, Leonard, everything starts to light up. You hear a sort of a buzzing sound begins to fill the room, and a soft golden light is given off by the disc. The runes on the walls that are cracked and damaged start to glow, and the entire chamber begins to sort of hum a bit. The simulacrum looks over and says, "It's really going to happen. Okay. I think all you have to do is touch my hand."
So right before he does that, or as he's speaking, can I cast a spell?
Yeah, what are you going to cast?
Can I cast Bless? And I'll bless myself as well as Leonard, and I can do one more, so I guess I'll go with, this is magic oriented, Yatara.
Okay.
So you get a +4 on attack rolls and saving throws for the next minute.
Okay.
I have the capacity to do the same thing, and so I cast it as well, covering. Okay. I think that will cover the remainder of the party.
All right. So you've blessed everybody. Leonard, he extends his hand towards you on top of the disc.
I'll reach out my hand.
Okay. Leonard, as you reach out your hand, you touch him, and everything becomes bright, and the humming grows louder and louder and louder. Roll me a D100, please, Leonard.
Okay.
This comes down to a percentile die roll to see what happens.
We'll miss you.
Did not want to be the featured character in this show.
I like the fact that I told him I would do it in the room upstairs, and by the time we've gotten down here, it's become Leonard. This
is the best way, right? Okay. Oh, Leonard. As you touch him, the room illuminates, lights up, becomes super bright. And I'll read to you what happens here. So you know, no fooling. On a 1 to 10.
Okay, this is so let's just establish.
I'm going to let you.
Let's just establish that this is the second time that Leonard has interacted with a spiritual encounter and been stricken immediately dead. So
No. I'm just going to read to you what happens on these rolls, okay? On a 1 to 10, the illusory object or creature is destroyed. If this happens to Dazen's simulacrum, it instantly drops to 0 hit points and collapses into a pile of ice and snow. That's on a 1 to 10. On a 51 to 90, the object or creature ceases to be an illusion and becomes real for 2d12 hours. The creature brought into this being is under the DM's control and uses whatever stat block most matches its form. On a 90 to 100. Now, you guys aren't going to know this. I'm just letting you... Your characters won't know this, but I'm letting you in on the dramatic irony here. On a 90 to 100, the object or creature ceases to be an illusion and becomes real permanently. On an 11 to 50, this happens. The room begins to shake and is bright and full of this golden glowing light. The shattered and fractured runes on the side walls are glowing and sparking as if something is going not exactly right with the chamber. When the light abates, Leonard, your hand feels something not normal. It feels something sticky and corrosive. And Leonard, you're going to take 4 acid damage as something is there that is just like burning the stew out of you. And when the light clears in the place of where the simulacrum object was, you no longer see the man standing before you, but there is a giant pile of horrific-looking goop that burns your hand, and it immediately whips out a giant pod thing and thwacks at you, Leonard, and it rolls an 11 to hit, which I assume is a miss.
Barely.
Everybody can hear again. You're already in initiative order, so I'm just going to roll with it. Keep you in your same initiative so that we don't have to redo all the initiative rolls, since we didn't even get to have a combat last time. This means Yatara is up first against this monstrous thing that you were all surrounded by that just burned Leonard and thwacked at him.
Yeah.
It is a fly-like situation. Like, it looks like, as you described it, something that came out of the movie The Fly. He is now a giant pile of horrific-looking ooze of some sort that is burbling and gurgling and making horrific noises as it strikes at you. On an 11 to 50, the creature or object is transformed into a hostile blob of corrosive magical ectoplasm. What do you do, Yatara?
I'm popping with a magic missile from where I am.
Okay. You sure can. $15. Yeah, you pop, and it takes that damage. Zarya, you're up.
Okay. Do I recognize this as some form of creature, or is it just a blob of quote-unquote ectoplasm?
It looks like a blob of ectoplasm.
Okay.
It's definitely hostile. It's got like pseudopods of itself, like flailing around and making horrible burbling noises. It literally looks like he is like, there's like half human, like there's a horrific mouth and like bits of like person, but it's like disintegrated into horrible ooze.
Okay, I think I just lean backwards as I say, "Oh hell no," and try to cast banishment on it.
Okay.
Can I get a charisma saving throw?
Oh, it's definitely not charismatic. It rolls an 8.
Yeah, it fails. Is it from this plane of existence?
It is.
Okay. I don't
So it's
really know that.
So it doesn't go to his home plane, but it's banished to is it the ethereal plane?
Yes. So as it leaves, I just look around at everybody and say, okay, it's either gone for a minute or a lifetime, but I don't know where that thing's actually from, so let's go. and I dart for the door.
As you look, you see the undead warrior man has dropped down in a pile of just like dead tissue, as whatever seemingly was keeping him going was based on the now deceased and gone simulacrum. And off you guys go? Question mark.
Is this disc what I remember from my dream?
No. Although it has similarities, the feel of it is very similar in sort of style and magical creation. You're determining that what you saw in your dream was definitely something of Netherese origin. But this does not seem to be the exact thing. And, yeah. Zarya is already going, I think. And Arcus is out the door.
Okay.
Zarya, as you enter the hall, you find a doorway that is barricaded by the remains of a sled that has been disassembled and taken apart. That's barricading the door over there.
That's my handiwork.
Yeah, do I hear anything trying to get through said barricade?
Roll perception. As you're trying to listen at it. Yeah, you hear something. You hear the distinct sounds of some sort of ongoing kerfuffle happening inside of that chamber. Like there's skittering and hollering and grunting, and there's the sounds of commotion happening in there.
Okay. Can I go over to the door? And this is dumb, but can I? Sure, I don't have to see this to do it. Can I cast spiritual weapon in the other room?
No, I'm afraid you're going to have to see where the spiritual weapon is to cast it there. Vision required.
Yeah, it just says that you create it within range, so I wasn't sure if that was actually required.
Yeah, I think so. You'd have to be able to see where you're putting it. I'm just gonna rule that one.
Okay. All right, then I'm not able to do that. I guess I just get on the other side of the door and look at Leonard since he did this.
What's down the other end of the hall?
Nothing helps. There's no way out. That's the only way out.
Long rest?
Yep. What are you guys doing?
Oh, there's another room down here, right?
Yep, there's the Will-O-Wisp room
Oh, okay.
and the collapsed staircase.
Collapsed staircase.
Which appears to be entirely impassable for several floors.
What happens if the fortress materializes of Ordella's within the confines of another edifice?
It would probably collapse everything around it.
But would it?
Would it be tall enough that we could climb out?
Yeah.
Well, a couple things could happen. Some of them may be good, some of them may be very bad. The fortress has a certain number of hit points and can be destroyed. It could burst your way through to the surface, destroying your fortress in the process. It could also collapse the entire chamber down on top of you, burying you under. Now it would be about 50 feet of soil and earth in an eternal tomb.
And thus ends our campaign.
So-
And
You
just have to figure out how to get out of that.
The staircase that's at the end, does that go to all the way to the surface and just
Everybody roll perception. In fact, I should be giving you a different soundscape because the soundscape I think is not giving you the clues as to what's happening here.
wow. Are you guys even looking?
Wow.
This whole campaign has been, or this whole session has been dreadful.
I have to do
Della.
everything.
or Della, you hear on the opposite side of the door, there's sounds of like some sort of ongoing scuffle and kerfuffle. There's biting, grunting, but you hear the distinct sound of a human voice, and it is a woman's voice, and there is a shout that you have heard before because you have heard some of your companions say something similar. And you hear a magic missile spell cast. As the same sort of phrase that Yatara says to cast magic missile blasts off, and you hear the similar pop, 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 pop of magic missiles flying in the opposite room.
Oh, okay. Here I was going to try to climb over all the staircase stuff.
And that's what you hear.
All right, tell everyone to be quiet.
Yeah, everybody else just hears like some scuffling and stuff, but you heard a voice and what you think is a spell cast with your good roll.
Mm-hmm. All right. Tell everyone about someone on the other side casting spells. Hopefully.
I'll begrudgingly disassemble my barricade.
All right. As you unbar the door,
I could open it and wave a white flag.
you open it up, and in this room you see two basilisks that are currently engaged with what looks like 4 kobolds wearing winter coats and carrying little spears, and there is a woman in a fur coat with a white owl that she bears with her, bearing a wand. And as she's in this room, she lets off a flurry of magic missiles that impact directly into one of the basilisks. And she looks over at you all and says, "Well, don't just stand there, help!" And that is where we will end it for the evening.
Sorry, guys. I feel like I took a lot of the heat on this one and dissolved our illusory ally and turned him into a pile of goo.
Well, at least the basilisk didn't come in behind us when we were turning him into a pile of goo.
But most importantly, you destroyed a spell book.
I was hoping to gloss over that.
Make a list of everything.
Okay, as an epilogue, as you look at this scene, Leonard, try again for me. Roll me perception.
Oh.
Leonard, you've made keen note of everything that you've seen. This woman is 100% the woman that you've seen in one of your visions.
That's what I was about to ask. Yeah.
Yep. You've made keen notes of everything in your automatic memory banks. And you've seen her face before.
Mysterious woman, white hair, eye patch, owl on her shoulder.
Yep. That's who you're seeing. Who stands here in this chamber and says, "Well, don't just stand there, help out." And this is where we'll pick it up for you guys next week.
Oh, love it.
Sounds like your Tinder match.
Leonard swipes whatever way you're supposed to swipe. Whichever one's the good one.
Yes, please.
I don't know what the good swipe is. Are you going to turn her into a pile of ooze?
Don't touch her.
No. Hopefully she's not an illusion.
It's like, here, come over to this chamber. We hear it works sometimes. Not good chances, but hey.
You just never know. All right, that was awesome, guys. We'll see you. We will. When is Memorial Day? I don't want to go on Memorial
It's coming
Day.
Monday.
Monday.
Always a Monday.
Yeah. Are people available Wednesday? If y'all are available Wednesday, we'll just run on Wednesday. We'll pick it up then on Wednesday to figure out who she is and help her deal with said basilisks.
All right.
And maybe a black pudding that ain't gone quite yet. All right. Good night, everybody. We'll see you guys next week.